What's up, y'all? Welcome to the On the Come Up podcast, where creative entrepreneurs share their come up journeys that turn their passions into success. I'm your host, Kimberly, so let's get started. What is up, guys? We are back with another episode. Today we have Lo.
Hey, guys.
Lo, welcome to On the Come Up podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Lo is a lifestyle creator and a podcaster, guys, so we'll get into the podcasting here soon. But what inspired you to start creating content like lifestyle?
Oh man. Okay. So it actually started a really long time ago. My kids were younger and I just wanted to capture memories, but at the same time, make it fun and maybe people would want to watch. But ultimately it was for me, just to kind of be able to go back. I had this bank of content of how I was at that age, what my life looked like, and ultimately just home movies, but they're on the internet, you know? And I did makeup for a while, so I'm just a very creative person, and it's always been something that I love to do. And I just take breaks here and there, but I really came back this last time and got really creative.
Did you first started off on YouTube? Mm-hmm. How long ago was that?
I think I joined YouTube I started taking it serious in 2016. 2015, 2016 is when I started really vlogging and doing those intimate videos of showing the inside of my life, and then filming my kids and them growing up and just lifestyle.
So now that your kids are older, what do you record?
Now I just record. So basically my vlogs now are just unhinged, is what I call them, unhinged daily vlogs. And it's just a look inside my life as a single woman with 2 dogs, because my kids are grown now. And they're always on the go.
You don't even look like your kids are grown.
Yeah, my kids are grown now. So, now it's just I just filmed this part of my life so that I can maybe in 10 years I can go back and see the progress and the growth from where I started a new chapter in my life.
So it's a new era,
It's a new
era.
New low. A new low.
Yeah. What's your favorite type of content to create?
Oh. Man, I think it's probably, I don't know. That's a really good question, because I love everything that's just, if it's a challenge, I love it. I think the vlogs really were a nice opening for me to be able to learn about B-rolls and all that technical part of it, especially the editing. But I think it's more of just being a creative. But I would just say the vlogs. And then now that I'm doing podcasting, that's even more fun for me, because it's just something I can share and have these conversations with other ladies or males or whoever wants to come on and stuff, my guests. But yeah. So
you enjoy behind the scenes?
I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy the whole part of it. Because I'm a one woman show. So I do the lighting, I do the whole camera setup, and I do the technical, I do the editing, and I put together the visuals of how I want it to look. Am I going to have sound effects in this part? Am I going to zoom in this part? That creative process for me is so exciting.
Okay, so that's what you say is your favorite part of it.
Yes.
Who do you think your target audience is?
I think right now my target audience is just women in their feminine era, just wanting to be able to have someone to relate to, you know what I mean? Because I feel a lot of women are going through the same journey I'm on, so it's nice to be able to also relate to experiences that maybe I'm going through, that they're going through. So I mean, honest, I can kind of relate to a lot of people. So I think it's women right now, but the majority of my audience is men.
Really?
So I really, I really want to also make it informative for the men audience.
I noticed that too on my analytics that it's more men than women. I was like, what?
Yeah, it
That's
is
weird though. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. Thanks, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just like, because I'm a female, I would just thought, oh, maybe a female would want to get some inspiration. But
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's actually more men.
Right. And I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, cool. I mean, I love my men audience.
Right.
I think like maybe they're just into looking at us. I mean, I don't
That's
know.
literally what I thought. That's because we're pretty.
I mean, and that is the reality of it. You know, men want to look at beautiful women, and you know, and if we're talking dirty, they definitely want to. And you know, that's kind of where my podcast
Right.
is. You know, it's very unhinged, dirty, and explicit.
Oh, they're gonna go straight to you after this.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all, and it's funny because like a lot of men do send me DMs, and they're like, "Hey, can you kind of go into more detail about what you mean on this topic?" And it's like, that's the feedback I want because yeah, I'll explain it to you, you know. And so it's nice to be able to have men that are secure with themselves and want to like know more and more, you know.
How do you connect with your audience?
I think just being me, you know what I mean? I think just being me and being able to not try to be something I'm not, you know what I mean? Because you can kind of like tell when somebody puts on, you know, when the cameras come on, you're a certain way, and then when the cameras are off, you're a different way. And I just, like, I've always wanted to just be me, you know. That's exhausting.
So like being your true self is what
Being your
people are
true
like,
self.
oh, I like this person.
Right, because you're going to be able to relate to somebody, you know what I mean? So be who you are so you don't feel like you have to turn that switch off.
Right. How do you define like success as a creator, whether like content creating or podcasting?
I think when you're just consistent, right? When you say, hey, I'm going to do something and this is my end goal, or maybe it's just because it's like soothing for you or therapeutic for you. Like ultimately the podcast, when I started it's just like therapeutic. I can sit down with my girlfriends or women that want to just talk about what I am talking about and have these conversations, these open dialogues, and it just be casual, nothing crazy, nothing so serious. But ultimately, I just feel like when you're consistent with what you want to do, like that's success. When you say, hey, I want to do this and I want to do it by this time frame. You know, give yourself some grace, but as long as you are consistent, I feel like that defines your success. Like you just showing up to what you want to do.
How long did you think about wanting a podcast before you actually started it?
So in the beginning of the year, me and a friend were actually talking about it. We were actually talking about doing a podcast together in a totally different category. And fast forward, I started making these vlogs about unhinged and kind of just, I found myself always talking to my friends about men and dating and sex and all of the above. And I'm just like, how fun would it be if I just did this in a video setting, in a podcast setting, on my couch, and we're just having a cocktail and just shooting the shit, you know? And that was kind of where I was like, let me put into action.
So how did you come up with the name? Her name of her podcast is Single on the Rocks, guys. It's so cute because if you see her, what is it, your cover picture, your podcast picture?
Yeah.
She has a little glass. Like, y'all go check it out. I'll put it in the link too as well. And how did you come up with the name?
This is a funny story. So Back when, what is that website? What was that? What is that? Tumblr.
I saw one of those.
Okay, back when Tumblr was big, everybody was blogging and all of that. So back in the day when I was single, pre like serious marriage and all of that, I was like, I want to start a blog and I'm going to call it Single on the Rocks. And I'm going to go to all these different bars in Dallas and write about the vibe, the drinks, and if there's eligible men, like what the atmosphere is, right? And I'm going to write about it and I'm going to just, see what happens. So I started it. I started my blog. It was called Single on the Rocks, and I did it for a little bit, and then boom, I meet my future ex-husband. And I was no longer single, so how could I experience that anymore? So I think that took a real big backseat, and then fast forward, it just kind of is full circle. And I looked and I was like, does anybody have a podcast named that? Because it had been years. I mean, years. I think anybody have a podcast? Nobody. And I was like, does anybody have like on Spotify, like everything? Like nobody. And I was like, oh, here we go. So that's kind of how the name came.
Oh, that's so cool. I was like, it was a thing for you, and then it kind of like you got taken aback, and then you're like full throttle now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. So then you just started it.
Yeah, I started doing like the back end work and just putting it all together, designing like the logo and how I wanted it to look, because honestly, I tried looking for my Tumblr page and I think they deleted after so many years, but couldn't find it. So because I couldn't even remember what the logo looked back then, So I was like, okay, well, like, what is my vision? Like, what do I want it to look like? What do I want it to be? Like, what are the core values? You know what I mean?
I'm glad you thought that through, because my story, y'all go back to my soul episode, my story was way different. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, but you thought like through and through. Like,
but that's okay, because like, when you start something, you're excited about it, right? And it's just like, and it's okay to make you did it, right? And you grow with it, and then you're like, okay, that doesn't work for me, I'm more of this. And so that's totally fine. That's your journey. And it's like you'll be able to see the growth of it, where your mind was at that point, and then where it is now. And then who knows, later on down the line, you might change something about it, not necessarily the name, because I love the name, but you might change the look of it. So it's all in the growth of the journey.
I love that. Yeah, I do. It just happens that way, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
That's our story. So I just gotta roll with it at this point. What's one thing that your audience or listeners might not know about you?
Oh, probably that I don't know if it would be surprising, but I was the rebel. I have 2 brothers. I'm the only girl, which is why I require princess treatment. But
are you the oldest?
No, I'm the middle.
You're the middle child. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the middle child. And I was the rebel. I was the one that gave the most problems. I had kids young. I mean, I was a wild child. I was a wild child. And it's so funny now. I'm just like, I wouldn't say I'm anything but that. But, you learn from, I'm not young anymore.
Girl.
I'm not young.
Where? Like, you age like fine wine. I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but I'm just.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, like, Lo looks real good.
Thank you. Well, my son's 20, so we'll just say that.
If that tells you anything.
Yeah.
Wow. So they're out of the house?
Yeah. So one of my sons, he lives with his dad, and then my other son, he lives with me. So they're not far, but they have their own lives. They work, and we see each other when we see each other.
Yeah. What do you want to do, like, forthcoming, like, with the podcast? Like, what's your ultimate goal?
I think honestly, I would love to, be able to bring on women or even men, you know what I mean, and just have these conversations, whether it becomes something big or not. I feel like it's very therapeutic I'm being real selfish right now. I feel like it's very therapeutic for me, but I feel like it's so relatable to have like conversations like that with women that maybe might not know you know, maybe the toxicity that they're in or red flags, because sometimes you don't have friends that can tell you, or maybe, you know what I mean?
Like, or maybe you do, but you don't listen. So you need to
right,
hear it from someone else.
Yeah. And I'll be the one to tell you. I'll be the one to tell you, which is why everybody comes to me. But it's fine because I love it. I love it. But, you know, it's funny because when friends I ask friends for advice, I'll be like, what do you think? And they'll tell me like, I don't know, you know. So, but it's nice, it's fun to have like these open conversations. So honestly, just see where it goes, you know, take it day by day, week by week, and you know, wherever the universe wants it to go, we'll try it out.
No hurry. You're just going along with the journey. I like that.
For sure.
What advice do you have for somebody who wants to create content?
Just do it. Just do it. Don't think twice about it. You know, a lot of people will say, like, that's cringy, or, oh, don't do that. And who cares?
That's crazy.
Who cares? Like, in this day and age, who cares? Like, just be you. If it makes you happy, I mean, don't be crazy and hurting anybody, but you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Make the content. If you like it, do it. And we have one life to live. Why not be happy? You know, why not do something that makes you feel good inside and outside? Whatever. It's just like when you go and work out, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's therapeutic for people, and sometimes it makes them feel good inside afterwards. And when you feel good, you look good. So just do it.
Just do it, guys, like Nike.
Just do it.
All right, Lo, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for
podcast. You might or might not see me on her podcast. Stay tuned for that. You guys, YouTube fan, don't forget to subscribe, like. You could find On the Come Up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you soon.
Bye.